So if you've been on the internet for any sort of amount of time and, delved deep into the gaming community or the console gaming community in particular, you would know that there's something called the console war, and Xbox may have just ended it entirely. At the Game Developer Conference, a conference that Xbox and Microsoft attends regularly, they showcased a new mock-up UI image at the conference with the Steam logo. I would like to believe this all but confirms that Steam, the storefront at least, is coming to the next generation of Xbox consoles, or at least to an Xbox storefront. It could be on the handheld device that they're making for later this year, more likely than not, the next generation. This would fundamentally change the game for not only Xbox future generation hardware iterations, but it would also change the game entirely in terms of exclusive games, because we've seen that PlayStation has been heavily pushing their first-party content on Steam. And if Xbox players for the next generation have any capability of PlayStation games through the Steam storefront, I mean, the argument would then be, what's really the point of buying a PlayStation? Now, of course, you can buy whatever hardware you want, either if it's the controller, either if it's just where your friends play, or any other reason whatsoever, but that would be an argument that people could make, and not even an argument, so to say, but that is just such an amazing thing for console users, and specifically Xbox console users, if they are able to actually use PlayStation games on the Xbox console, because now they don't have to go out and purchase another $400, $500 box to play games that are being released at such a slow and steady pace, and a lot of them still on the PlayStation 4 and PC anyway. There is no negative to this news at all, only a benefit really. What I believe is going to happen, more likely than not, Sony is going to try to block this, or it's going to be kind of a system like they do on Steam with the Steam Deck, where it's like Xbox console verified. You know how some games on Steam can be Steam verified due to optimization? I feel like Sony might do an Xbox console verified, and it'll just block games from being played entirely. Now Valve, the company that owns Steam, could also argue to Sony, look, you want your games on Steam? You're going to be doing this. And you know what? That would kind of screw over Steam there, because the Epic Games Store definitely does not have enough support or enough players comparative to Steam that would make PC gaming viable. This move does also reiterate as well that Microsoft is trying to become like the everything box, right? Like all screens are Xbox, your phone is an Xbox, TV's an Xbox, your console is an Xbox, a streaming stick could be an Xbox. Basically anything with a controller and access to the internet and a Game Pass Ultimate subscription is an Xbox. And I personally think that's an awesome move. It's extremely pro-consumer. It allows people to have more choices when it comes to playing their video games, even if they're not the most viable options. But this is still a viable option for the people who may not want to actually go out and buy an expensive console, that already have a good internet connection, an Xbox controller, Game Pass Ultimate, and they just want to play on the go. And the Steam storefront also becoming available on Xbox consoles is honestly just a game changer for several reasons, of course. We're talking about an expanded game library, allowing for console players to enjoy not only AAA games that are not available on consoles, but also indie games. And there are tons of indie games that are not available on consoles, but are available on Steam and Epic and just PC in general. Cross-platform gaming, I'm imagining, will also have a massive boost from this as well. Bridging that gap between console and PC and allowing for maybe more specific games, maybe if it's coming from Steam or if it's coming from Microsoft, allowing for these people to actually play together. This would also ensure a game like Helldivers 2 would be available on Xbox, which I think would be awesome. And the convenience measures of it as well. People who already own a PC and maybe an Xbox as well, if it's an Xbox Series S that's just in the living room and they like to switch in between these games, instead of having to go out and buy maybe a Steam Deck for that handheld or out of computer gaming, then are able just to cross-platform that stuff. So cross saves, you're able to play with your friends like I stated just a second ago. A lot of really cool things can come out of this just by having Steam on the Xbox console storefront. This would immediately make console sales for Xbox increase, at least in my opinion. I mean, having the Steam storefront available on a console and not having it available on the PlayStation, I mean, that's the biggest exclusive that you could have. Now, we could of course see Steam coming to the PlayStation 5 as well, and then it would kind of, not matter anyway, but this would be huge no matter what, even just for a year. This would definitely sell consoles, because there are still millions of people who maybe can't because of budget reasons, or just do not want to go out and buy a PC for PC gaming. They just want to play console, they want to sit in their living room, they want to do that kind of experience with gaming, and that's completely fair. And having Steam on the consoles that they're playing on is a big seller for the Xbox console, and is a huge reason to stay interconnected with your favorite kind of gaming on console. I also think the biggest possibility for this happening is that Game Pass will come to Steam, because if Steam's on Xbox, you'll have to put Game Pass on Steam, man. Like, that's just inevitable. It's gonna happen, and that would be huge. I mean, they would garner so many subscriptions just from having it on Steam alone. You'd probably garner another few million subscriptions in the first month just from having it on the Steam page. And having Steam on the Xbox console front would also net you tons more revenue and be extremely good for console players since they have access to so many more games as well. This potential deal could be just beneficial to every single person involved. It'd be beneficial to gamers, to the companies, everybody. There would be no downside to this. The only downside would be fanboys on any side really complaining that now they either have access to more video games, or that maybe PlayStation players would be pissed because now their games are available on Xbox, but Xbox is supporting their games to PlayStation anyway. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to PlayStation 5 in April. Forza is coming soon as well. There's so many other video games that Xbox is already sending over to garner more players. For everybody's sake and overall revenue growth, it makes most sense that every single game is everywhere. So everyone has the option to play the games wherever they choose, whether it's on the Xbox, PlayStation, PC, their phone, anything. But that's all I really have to talk about for this video. If you did enjoy and want to hear more news, Xbox, PlayStation, PC gaming kind of related videos like this, consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you so choose to. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.